Good evening, everyone. Welcome to game week 12-ish of the CM0102 Super League, season 18. Exciting times in the Super League, exciting times in world football. Evening to Mr. Edwards, Mr. Campbell, and Alf already here. Good to see you guys. Um, Evening Ross as well. Just enjoying Scottish football and their and their efforts in Europe. I think combined a score of 0-10 this evening, I believe. I think Sturm Graz is winning 1-0, and Aberdeen and Rangers didn't do too, didn't do too good earlier. So Hearts, this is your chance. Fingers crossed for Mr. Campbell and his beloved aside from the capital, and see if they can do something this year. Would be interesting to break up the old firm. But anyway, not a good night for Scottish football in general at the moment. Let's see if it goes better for our Haggis in the Super League this evening. They're away to Vikings, so no guarantees there. But they have, of course, been doing a little bit better, or certainly did last time out. We'll remind ourselves of that actually as we have a quick look at the results from the previous week. It was, as mentioned, Haggis beating Los Santos 2-1. 2-1 victory as well for Sancte, who also had a terrible start to the season, beating Sloths. Stanley lost at home to Northern Burn. Vikings lost at home to Stackington. Fulchester lost to Badgers, who are current leaders, doing very well at the moment. Can't see the screen. No, you can't actually. That's a good point. There you go. Oh, give me a break. It's there now, right? I forgot that I actually put that up. That's why. But here we go. You should have all its glory now. Badgers beat Fulchester 4-1. Uh, it's East Coast Alf. Uh, I think it's the Sloths Basher. Exiles lost at home to Foss Road, and East Coast, as mentioned, beat who was mentioning to be at home to Sloths. They beat Dudley 1-0, moving up to second spot. We'll have a look at the table here. Badgers, of course, had that terrible, like from last to first. The last to first challenge has been completed. Um, That's the first challenge completed by Badgers. Started off, of course, with a very bad result against Dudley, and now they're top of the table for, I mean, I don't know if it's for the foreseeable future, but they certainly have a 3 point gap to East Coast, who also had a pretty poor start to the season, 13th to second, sort of replicating that. Exiles, meanwhile, they've been sort of near the top pretty much the whole time. Vikings as well has done sort of relatively well. Stackington kind of also middling along in that kind of position, and we'll have a look at how the teams have progressed. Over the course of the season when we get a little bit further in, how teams have been going up and down. Always nice and interesting to see. Down at the bottom, Sloth and Sancte both on 8 points. Sancte with a game in hand, but much worse goal difference. Um, Haggis on 11 points, Stanley on 12. Stanley got a great start to the season. Managed to take a screenshot of week 3, but it's been a little bit downhill since then. They've had a couple of injuries and some tough games, but we'll see if they can bounce back. Fulchester, another team who have been at the top and they've completed their curve. But yeah, not brilliant for Fulchester either. Looking for a sort of reverse of fortunes there. In the middle here, I'll spare you the details. Dudley, Los Santos, and Northern Byrne. We think we all know what their season have been like so far. Sort of false starts here and there, and in general, just sort of plodding along and hoping not to have to make up too much ground. Interesting to note is that we are already on 16 points for sixth spot. Of course, with 2 games still to play until the halfway point of the season, could be getting close to 20 points, which again would indicate a total around the 40 to make it into the playoffs. So tough times ahead for some of the teams that have to make up potentially 32 points already, but still plenty of games to go. 15, 16 games to go for the teams here. So that's where we're at the moment. Uh, we'll do a full share of like evening Alex, evening Savage. Do a full share of all the player stats and all that after tonight's show, so we can see where everyone is at. Who do we have in attendance? We have just thinking about games that we could potentially line up with. We could do a Stanley Sancte early on. Both managers are here. Of course, we have Alex here as well, Stackington to Fulchester. We'll probably wait with that for a little bit. Um, what else? What else? What else? Me, says Savage. Well, you don't normally go early, so I don't see why not. Let's and you are here. Your name is there, so perfect. We'll do that. And Alex will happily go late. So let's do Stanley first. Um, Couple of changes for them. Sadly for them, Nicky Butt is still out. He's had a decent season, 7 average, not such a big miss, but he's still out as well. Um, Ronaldo is there, Del Piero is there, Guillaume is there. Ben May is moved up into central midfield with an arrow, and Ehyog is back in central defense. So we will see how that goes. Arrow still to AMC for May. Ben May, of course, coming in here and having a sort of a decent pop here in the first couple of games. So yeah, good news for them that at least they have the defensive players back. Just Ronnie Johnson getting on a little bit, struggling with fitness, struggling with coming back into form, and yeah. So, but we'll see. Maybe he'll maybe he'll improve as the season progresses. We will see. So that is Stanley. They're up against Sancte. Sancte have a change of personnel. I think this was the same. Indeed, it was the same lineup as last match. Oh, sorry, the same formation as last match. Um, Evening, Steve. You've not missed anything apart from me rambling and forgetting to turn the screen on, but here we are. A couple of changes for them personnel wise. I believe some kind of central mid DMC is maybe back, I think, and Kellstrom comes in for his debut for the club. That'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He's not really managed to. I mean, a terrible time at Stackington. Apart from that, he's not really featured. So, so we'll see. Evening Dimble. We'll see how it goes with Kellstrom in the Sancte lineup here. But first game of the evening, let's kick this one off. It's Stanley hosting Sancte. Kellstrom gets not number 9, it's number 45. That's a bad omen, but we will see. Good start for, I guess, both sides. Oh, it's a penalty kick, and Oliver Kahn, he's been sent off in the past. He gets sent off again. Early commiserations to oh, to Ross there. I think was it 6-0 against Dudley the other day when Oliver Kahn got sent off, and he's been sent off again. Absolute nightmare for Sancte here. Just 9 minutes on the clock, and yeah, terrible timing. Never a good time to get your keeper sent off, but on 9 minutes is probably it's probably worse than worse than 81 other minutes, to be completely honest. So let's see what Ross wants to do. He's probably already considering his options. Will Kallstrom? Yeah, exactly. I was thinking it'll be the shortest debut in Super League history. Kallstrom has to go. It's immediately sacrificed. Kirkland goes back. Riquelme gets centralized, and that is fairly obvious. Let's see if Sancte can hold on here. Mike, of course, you can also do stuff if you want to change your tactics at this point, as the opponent has had a player sent off. I'll see if you can continue as is, of course, but it is an option. Nothing from Savage at this point. Let's see who he's got set as his penalty taker, and let's see if he will convert. Lee Jung Pyo of all people, and he has put the ball in the back of the net. Stanley leads 1-0. And Lee Jung Pyo again, but he has a goal disallowed. Phil Neville apparently pushed someone in the back, I think it was. And May had a goal disallowed as well. 2 disallowed goals for Stanley. They are really piling on the pressure on Sancte here. That Oliver Kahn's career seems to have finished with Sancte, such a legend for the club. But apparently, time has caught up with him, and he is no longer wanted by the manager. Oof, there was a second penalty claim there, but it was turned down. It's been all Sancte since that goal. Sorry, all Stanley since that goal. I did think Guillaume had a chance maybe early on. Doesn't seem to have counted. Stanley, as mentioned, with a penalty, with 2 goals disallowed and a penalty claim turned down. It's been it's been difficult for for Sanctay for sure. Chris Kirkland is on an 8. The rest of the players are not covering themselves in any kind of glory. Um, yeah, uh, yeah, it's not brilliant. Defenders Kivu Tudor, Ashley Cole doing okay. Everyone else is not really at the races today. Meanwhile, Guillaume is on an 8. Oh, it was Guillaume, but he plays for Stanley. He did have a shot. I did see that. Perfect. Del Piero is the one who got brought down for the penalty that Leon Pio converted. Couple of key passes for Guillaume. It's been a decent signing actually, joining from Haggis on an exchange here. Ross says, as is, we'll see if Mike wants to do anything at this point. Poor Ben May had a goal disallowed for offside. Let's see. It wasn't him who was offside, so that's fair enough. He did, of course, have plenty of offsides on his debut. We'll slow it down for the first 15 of the second half, see if anything interesting happens. First 5, 6 minutes have passed without anything interesting. Here comes Sanctay though. Ball hits Paredes. It's Riquelme with a corner, but it's headed away. Now Stanley comes forward. Guillermo, long range shot, denied by the post. No doubling on of the lead as of yet. Here comes May forward for Stanley, getting himself involved. And I think it's Kirkland with a good save there. Georges picks up the loose ball, and we've reached the 60. Or have we? Here comes Sainte, but Georgic comes down the other way. Tudor holds onto someone's shirt. He picks up a yellow card. That'll be a free kick. Ronaldo lines it up. Ready to take the free kick is Ronaldo here, with Stanley on 9 and 5 and Sancte failing to register a single attempt. Um, Ashley Cole has dropped to a 6, but the two DMCs have picked up a little bit. Chris Kirkland is on a 9, looking like a solid replacement for Oliver Kahn now. Um, Mike says play on again, I presume. And why wouldn't he? I mean, complete control. Del Piero may be a little bit of a fitness concern, but yeah, not really. Nothing else to worry about at this stage. Excellent performance from someone like Jay Keta. They're 6 and 4. Good passing as well from him, and Ehiog as well. Good defensive display for Stanley this evening. We'll see if we'll see if Sancte and Ross wants to do anything, throw on an extra striker, anything like that to find an equalizer, or if they're just gonna hope for the best. Longer arrows maybe on someone. He does have Rocky Santa Cruz on the bench, who's come in on before and changed, if not the outcome, then at least contributed towards the end of the game. So that would be the most obvious change for the away side. Um, yeah, Kirkland 9 indeed. Crespo 6, Riquelme 6, Sowry 6, Ferguson 6. It's been difficult, down to 10 men against a team that's in form, and that's always difficult. Let's see, there's a couple of things being done here. Rocky Santa Cruz for Sowry, uh, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Something like this, I think. Makes sense, to be honest. Makes sense, to be honest, for the last half hour. Trying to get a few more people up forward and see if those three alone can hold the line. All or nothing. Let's see if Sancte can find a way back into this. At least with two people up top, they might have a chance of getting a shot on target. Um, there was Riquelme with that chance. Oof, and May perhaps should have buried it there, but he didn't. Sancte creating a little bit more, but Stanley is still looking dangerous when they come forward. Tudor makes an important challenge there. Somehow Sancte is still in this. Let's slow this down for fast for the last 5, 10 minutes. Santa Cruz moved too soon, otherwise there could have been a chance there. Kirkland with another great save. Uh, and there comes Ronaldo. No stopping him this time. No one picking him up his run from midfield, and Stanley have sealed this one. 2-0 winners, potentially, unless Sancte can find something here. Ferguson comes forward. Davis goes down. Riquelme lines up the free kick. Wasn't to be for Sancte. They have had chances in the second half, though, after those changes were made. Powerfully headed by Guillaume, but it stays potentially like this. Indeed, it does. 17 shots, 8 on target for Stanley. Sancti just with 1 and 0. Christopher Kirkland picks up an 8 though, was on a 9, conceded a goal. Good performance from Sean Davis. He picks up a 9. And Barry Ferguson there, just not delivering creatively. Riquelme and Crespo were a little bit isolated. Yeah, I mean it's always go down to 10 after 9 minutes. It's always going to be an uphill one, isn't it? Lee Young Pyo picks up man of the match somehow. I'm not entirely sure looking at his performance. What has he done over here? Anything particular? Four interceptions and 4 runs. I guess that's kind of okay. Ben May got an assist. Brilliant. But yeah, colossal effort from Kirkland coming in there, and presumably we'll be seeing a lot more of Chris Kirkland with Oliver Kahn falling out of favour from his with his manager. Excellent, entertaining first match of the evening. Stanley picks up all 3 points. Sancti, unfortunately for them, with Oliver Kahn getting sent off, it's another defeat as it was the last time he received a red card. So let's have a look at the fixtures that we've got here. I think that was Stanley against Sancti. I think this one, not this one. East Coast against Sloths would be our next sort of obvious choice, and then we'll go Vikings Haggis after that, possibly. Um, so let's see. So let's see if we can find East Coast. Here they are. Dimbleside with Constantino still injured, 10 days with a damaged shoulder. Everyone else is in as normal, as they were last time out. They beat Dudley Hill 1-0 as expected. Harry Kuehl got man of the match award and the goal there. And yeah, we'll see actually how they've been dealing with Sloths in the past. It's fairly even. Sloths won 2 of the last 3, 4. Well, anyway, they won the last 2 against East Coast, so could be another surprise on the cards here. They were a part of the kind of bunch of teams that broke East Coast's amazing start to the season last time out, and then beat them again later on, of course. So yeah, um, tricky one for East Coast. Potential stumbling block here. Spartak Sloths with changes to the tactics, with changes to the personnel to some extent. We've got no fullbacks anymore. They've moved up Okan, who did quite well last time out, and Toneto, who's been doing well all season. And it's Vogel and Dacour central midfield. It's Araujo in the surely that's not still funny. Um, but maybe um, Elba and Kessman up top. Sloths hoping to get some goals. All or nothing for them as well, kind of. As Alf looks to improve the fortunes of the Sloth side. Let's kick this one off and see how it goes as East Coast host the Sloths. Bookies favourites at home, of course. Um, But who knows? As mentioned, last 2 encounters went Sloth's way. This one, they're going to have to be doing it without Elba. I believe Elda Hadjimedovic will be the one coming on. It seems like the obvious change, unless Sadov comes on at AMC and Ava Uyu moves up front. But we'll see if Alf wants to confirm this particular change. As expected, it's going to be Hachim that is going to take the spot of Giovanni Elba, who picked up that early injury. Shame for him. It's not a brilliant start to the season, to be honest, but you got probably more likely to be picked ahead of Eldar. But let's see, Elba for Eldar, Elda for Elba, in one way or the other. Um, we continue the first half. 26 minutes played now, 27, and still no goals, but Sloths coming close there. We were intercepting. Sambrota coming forward, Turam coming forward, and a yellow card picked up by someone. Only one shot for East Coast, 2 for Sloths. They've somehow got their number, just as East Coast had Dudley's number last time out. It seems as if Sloths are getting the better of this one. Um, it's not been a vintage performance. It's sevens and sixes across the board, but some decent passing there. Oliver Dacour, obviously a long-time Super League favorite, is doing a decent job in midfield. Okan perhaps struggling a little bit out on the wing. He did better centrally last time out, but not terrible. Clarence Seedorf on the bench, an obvious replacement a bit later on. No real fitness concerns for the Sloths at the moment. Of course, Elba out, he's down on 69, but everyone else still's in their 90s. And in terms of match ratings, as mentioned, sixes and sevens. East Coast, on the other hand, that's a lot more sevens there, even though they're kind of being dominated, if we can call it that, with two shots from Sloss. Just the one key pass for Sambrata. No one else has really done anything. Zanetti had a shot that wasn't on target, but average rating wise, as mentioned, a couple of guys on sixes standing out, as well as Kuhl. I'm not sure if the manager wants to do anything at this point, or if he's happy enough to roll. As is till 60, when we will no doubt be two down, says Alf. Let's see if Dimple wants to do anything with East Coast here, or if he is happy. Oh my goodness. Did not see that one coming. Sanetti goes out, Reyes comes on. Uh, this. Yeah, I see. It's that. I could just pick that formation, but it's probably easier to do it like this. Reyes for Sanetti, two aims with arrows, centralized James, no arrows. There we go. East Coast taking this one very seriously. They don't want to end up losing a third game in a row to the Sloths. So let's run this until 60 and see if those changes for East Coast will mean anything. Great last ditch tackle from Biscan there, apparently, as East Coast look to take an early advantage here. Kuhl hits a free kick. Good save by the keeper. Dacour plays it forward. And Sloths calm it down again. Aruyo swings it across. Turam gets it away. Amoroso now for East Coast. Foul by Woodgate. That'll be a free kick. Amoroso takes it himself, but Robin can't do anything with it there. Let's see as we reach 60 minutes. East Coast have been the better side early on in the second half. Slots have struggled a little bit after that change from the home side. Biscan is on an 8. Valgaren's on 6 on a yellow. Ockhan's on a 6 on a yellow. Kessman's on a 6 and a yellow. There's a pattern emerging here. Um, those are the ratings. Will we see Placente or Seedorf? Who knows? Tonetto's still doing okay, but Seedorf could come in both on the wing and centrally as well for either Araujo or Okan, who are kind of underperforming a little bit at the moment. Condition-wise, everything is fine, so it's really just on match rating if Alf wants to bring in Seedorf for either of those two, or perhaps for one of the central players. But Vogel is on a 7, so is the core. And so was Tonetto. So most likely candidates for substitution would probably be Okan or even Araujo. Although I seem to have seen Araujo's name pop up quite frequently so far, but we'll see what Alf wants to do if he wants to swap anyone around. Dibble already confirmed as Seedorf for Araujo. We're going to get C Seedorf in a central attacking role. Let's see if that is to his liking. I think in the past, I think Seedorf in MC with an arrow to AMC is probably his sort of favorite position, but maybe he'll work here in the AMC role. We will see. Kessman and Hachimura to swap. We will do that as well. Hachimemedovic. That's it. Thank you very much, Alf. Excellent. And let's get this last half hour underway. Seedorf already getting involved there, but East Coast Kovalchuk having a dig. Left to Rapulas with a save. Plenty of action, both ends of the pitch. There comes Amoroso. Good save by the Sloths keeper. Vogel now comes forward. Kessman has a dig. We'll slow this one down. There's too much happening here. Robin with a good chance, but good save by the Sloths keeper. Here comes Biscan, and Sambrata picks it up, and then it becomes to Emerson, and then it's Kuhl. Still neither side able to find the back of the net with just 8 minutes of regular time to play. Reyes comes forward. Kovalchuk is available. He must score, but an important challenge by Vogel. East Coast trying their best, but Sloths pretty much stopping all attacks and having the odd counter themselves. Will anything happen here in added time? It doesn't look like it, and it's a draw. It's a goalless draw after having sort of big wins for both sides in the last 4, 5, 6 encounters. We finally had a goalless draw between East Coast and Sloths. Exciting as it was, no goals were produced, but yeah, solid game. Igor Biscan loved that. Eleftheriopoulos as well. The core and Woodgate and Valgarin dropped a little bit after East Coast turned up the volume in the second half. Okan did okay. Toneto as well on the wing. Vogel, good performance from him with a 7. Clarence Seedorf came forward, had a shot on target but didn't score. Hadzimamovic did not do badly, but yeah, still not brilliant. But a point away and a clean sheet against East Coast could be a lot worse. East Coast, meanwhile, 8s and 7s across the board, did very well. Had 4 shots on target, maybe just a little bit unlucky or decent performance defensively by the Sloths there, but clean sheet, that's probably always welcome for East Coast, who will probably stay in the near the top of the table. So, as we've completed this one, as mentioned, we will move on, and the next game will be Vikings against Haggis. Vikings uh, on. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 changes. I think only one. I think it's Van der Vaart who comes in for whoever that chap was. Was it Van Bommel? Van Bommel played in there previously, I think it was, and that's it in terms of the personnel. Naya and Estebaria drops from the bench too. I think Power comes in for the on the bench as additional cover. That's the change from the Vikings as they look to get back to winning ways after a couple of sort of not great results here. Home against Haggis, then they're away to Foss Road, tricky Dudley game, away again. Then they've got Sloths at home, so that was a good time to try and pick up 3 points for the Vikings for sure. Van der Vaart can get number 22. I'm sure that's going to be absolutely fine. Haggis, meanwhile, 1 or 2 changes here. I think Simao comes in for. So, oh no, it's Proton who comes in for Cruz, and Figo comes in for Tomadera, who swaps with Jax, who moves into a striker role. Do think as a lone striker he'd probably do better, or the middle of the three, as was the case before. But manager has faith in him in a 2 as well, so we will see how that goes with Vikings against Haggis. Haggis looking for points desperately. Let's see if they get them. They had a good result, 2-1 win, 3-2 against Foss Road and 2-1 against Los Santos. Things are starting to turn around a little bit for them, but let's see if they can continue that good run as they take on the Vikings here. A good early start from Haggis, certainly coming forward. Jeremy's picks of a yellow. That means he's going to get sent off later. So good news for you, Steve. Just wait patiently and it will happen. Figo getting himself involved as well. Proton, Jeremy's. It's all a little bit flash heavy without any real chances, I think. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the sums up the first half. A little bit flashy, not a bunch of chances. Although it says here Haggis about 4-3, Vikings and 0-0. That seems at odds with what I was watching, but never mind. Um, Proton and Jeremy's on 8s. Everyone else doing yeah, sort of okay for the away side. I think really that stands out. Hippie is on a 6, despite doing very well. I mean, I don't know. Seems a bit harsh. Meanwhile, Vikings have got a few players on a 5. Rafael van der Vaart not impressing anyone on his debut. It's got to be a replacement like Donny, but both Donny and Soroczynski could, and even Pauve, I think could be could be better than that first half performance from van der Vaart. They do have the problem of Liverani also not really turning up, somehow only getting a 5 despite completing like 90 whatever percent of his passes. Lost a couple of tackles and a header, which has counted against him, obviously. But yeah, tricky for Vikings here. Might see Campbell has confirmed already that he's going to roll. Might see a change or two for early change or two for Vikings. A lot of patience with I was going to say with Van der Vaart if he doesn't get pulled. Yeah, both the 5s are going to get yoinked. Ravel van der Vaart goes for Pauve and Sorchinski for Liverani. Instant response there from the manager, not tolerating the 5s. We'll see how this looks when we get to 60 minutes. Sorochinski getting involved, Pauve getting involved. We've seen names of both players already in the first minute. Keen to catch the manager's eye, hoping for a starting position next time out. Hersey comes forward, finds silence in the box, but that's a brilliant challenge from Simao. Then as Figo coming down the other end, shows a clean set of heels to someone. It's a good shot, but cannot find the back of the net. Evening again. And Hippier of all people must score. He'd had a fairly decent first half, but a poor average rating. But that's certainly going to improve now with having found the opener this evening. Haggis leads 1-0. Salazar now advances. Hersey smashes it, but it's Casillas in the Haggis goal with a good save. And we have reached the hour mark, I think, pretty much. Salazar and Hersey combining. Can't do anything interesting. Haggis comes down the other end, gets an indirect free kick, and we've reached 60. So yeah, Vikings at least have had a shot on target. Wasn't brilliant, but it was a shot. Haggis, meanwhile, continued to impress. Good second half from them. Assist for Bauma out from that wing. Simau's doing brilliantly on the other side as well. Jeremy's still on thin ice. 6 tackles, all of them won. Two of them key. He's only on an 8 though, thanks to I don't know what. Proton as well in that DMC role doing brilliantly. Figo's on a 6 though. Will we see a change from the manager? Maybe putting on in Sacco and Freddy for Figo. Inspired substitution potentially. We will see. Meanwhile, over at the Vikings, it's not getting much better. I mean, he doesn't have anyone on fives anymore, but that's probably the highlight. Salas had a key pass. Hershey's had a shot. Tricky times, tricky times. Maybe some arrows would be appropriate. We'll let the manager consider that. Check the football scores. In the meanwhile, Celtic still losing, unfortunately. FC Midtjylland winning away in Israel. That's good news. Good for the coefficient. Um, just checking if anything else stands out. Crystal Palace drawing to a team from Cyprus. Could be better, I guess. Everton to DMR, Volodenkov to AMR with a diagonal arrow. Sorochinski centralized. Missing Sheva in a big way. Watching on mute. Got the lad up. No problem. You're last anyway. You'll fall asleep by then. Don't worry. Indeed, you are missing uh, Shevchenko in a big way. Absolutely agree. Hopefully this is correct. Forward arrow on Hersey. Mhm. I mean, definitely trying. Definitely trying. Overloading the flanks. Hoping that that's where it's going to come from. I personally thought that Arca and Hersey on the left side up against Simao would be a better option instead of against Bauma, but we will see. We will see. I'm not a manager, so who knows? Even Scott, Vikings are creating chances. They are coming forward. There comes Salas. Proton tries to do something. It's Carlos Shacks with a chance down the other end. Bauma keeps coming forward. Haggis keeps creating. Vikings keep creating. Slow this down for the last 5 minutes. Great save by Casillas. Couldn't hold it though. Petkov clears it. Viking continue to come forward, piling on the pressure here. There is Nedved. Had such a brilliant start to the season, but it's been kind of. He doesn't have Shevchenko. He has got Salas to partner him up front, and it's just not the same. And I think that's where it's going to end up. Yeah, fizzled out there. Unfortunate for Vikings. Did what they could, created plenty in the last half an hour, but just not lethal enough in front of goal with Salas, unfortunately, covering for Shevchenko, who is going to be back next week, I think. Jens Jeremy somehow stayed on the pitch, picked up Man of the Match award, all 3 points for the Haggis. They're on a roll at the moment. Kalajax did well, but yeah, didn't score. But still, decent performance. Even in a two, he can do it. Freddie Lundberg came on, didn't do anything to say that he should replace Figo. Maybe we'll see Daniel Cruz, who's done well in an AMC role, next time out. Walter Samuel, some reason only got a 6. Who knows? Meanwhile, the Vikings, Solchinski Poway came on. I mean, they didn't get 5, so that was good. Ferdinand got an 8, so did Arca on the left hand side. Decent season from him, still above 8 in the average, but he is missing, I think, Shevchenko as well. We will see when he is back. So, Vikings lost to Haggis. As we have Duggan, I believe rests at the moment. Foss Road assistant. We can crack on with Northern Burn because Mr. Edwards is here for sure. So let's do that, and we've got some one manager stuff coming up afterwards. But as we have representatives from both Burn and Foss Road in attendance, let's go with this. Northern Burn are unchanged. So there we go. Not diving too much into that. You all know the Northern Burn lineup pretty much. Foss Road, just the one change for them because Ronaldinho is injured again. Totti moved to AMC Agahawa, who did poorly in AMC before. He's out on the right hand side. Those are the only changes for a Unicorn for this one. They're in sixth. Um, Northern Burn chasing that sixth spot. We will see what they can do at home. Looks to be a decent start for Northern Burn as Foss Road has some, or was it not? Was it anyway? Someone picked up a yellow card. I was going to say it was a good start for someone. I don't know who got that yellow card, but it was someone. Argyle picks up a yellow. He must be careful now. Northern Burn. Uh, Keeping Foss Road at bay up until that point where Arik back opens the scoring. But it's a great strike from Neil Scally, hitting straight back at the visitors 1-1 as we reach the 40-minute mark. Let's see if anything else will happen in the first half. Foss Road have been very dangerous going forward. Plenty of chances, plenty of things created, but Northern Burn are holding firm and they are rarely beaten. Northern Burn take full advantage of the last 5 minutes of the first half to put themselves 3-1 in front. Verong and Impensa in quick succession. Foss Road looked to be in control of the first 25 minutes. They scored the goal, but Scally hit straight back at them, and then Northern Burn quickly punished them with a quick double on 42 and 43. Ibrahim Said's on an 8, everyone else is on 6s and 7s. No assist here. Ian Edwards, unsurprisingly, going as is. Um, Let's see who got the assists. It was Cadillac on the left-hand side, NDI. It was Vieira who picked up that early yellow card, so indeed not a brilliant early start for Northern Burn there. Emilian Penza back in the goals as well. That's 9 and 10 now for him. Difficult to stop. Duggan goes as is until 60 for the visitors as well. Let's see if they can find a quick goal back, a quick goal for Foss Road, and they might be back into this, but it's gonna have to come early, I think. Cannavaro picks up a yellow there for holding back Van Nistelrooy. Lucky that it wasn't a red, perhaps, and not clean through on goal. Maybe that's what saved him there. Impensa is unchallenged, and Impensa is not one for messing about this season as he was last season. Pretty much unstoppable, and he's on form. He had 23 and 25. Now he has 10 and 10. Not sure who is going to challenge him for the top scorer title this season with Vieri picking up so many injuries for Exiles. Respect the Burn Machine. Yeah, well, Nick Matulian's not covering himself in glory, neither is Joe Cole or Francesco Totti. But the Burn Machine is, yeah, Oya Shimkoviak and Trezeguet, they're probably not going to change anything really for you there. And Northern Burn. I don't know if Ian wants to try someone else, give someone else a bit of a run. Who knows? He's got Aymar and Chelo Samba potentially. Are we going to see Impenza pulled when he's on a hat trick? As Dimble pulled, or was it Amoroso who got pulled when he was on a hat trick? We'll see. Mr. Edwards is pondering something because otherwise this would have been an assist already. So he has got some tricks up his sleeves, whatever they might be. Or he's overcome with emotion at the excellent result that he looks to be securing here. But yeah, Impenza definitely the story of the season in terms of goal scorers, along with Vieri so far. I mean, what a key player for Northern Burn he is. Cosmin Contra gets pulled for Phil Neville. Um, Seems fair. Give Phil a bit of a run here. He did pretty good at Stanley, and yeah, let's see what he can do. Um, Last half hour coming up. I think Burn will probably be fairly happy if they don't concede from here, and Foss Road will probably also be fairly happy if they don't concede anymore. So let's see if they agree to just play it out to stay 4-1, and indeed they did, predictably so. Northern Burn 10 shot 6 on target, four of them went in. Poor evening for Nick Matulian in the Fossroad goal. Fossroad had 6 and 4. Buffon obviously doing a little bit better. Emil Penta with those two goal, unsurprising winner of the Man of the Match award. Although Candela and Ndiaye, who were the main providers, also picks up nines, as does Neil Scally. Look at the effectiveness in the tackling here in the midfield with NDI, with Vieira, and with Scally all winning close to 100% of their tackles. Even Phil Neville did brilliantly coming in. Two key tackles for him. Cannavaro, not his best game, but still good enough for a 7 in that captain's role. Brilliant performance by Byrne. About time he turned up. Yeah, well, I mean, people will starting to get worried with Northern Burn and their change of form if that continues like this. Alex will go last, so we will wait with this one. We do have some other managers in attendance. We are looking at LSK and we are looking at, we'll see if Tato turns up late. It is a possibility, I guess, if he's not swimming or whatever it is. So let's go with Scott. Let's go with LSK. They are away to. I feel like LSK is always away. What is the away table looking like? 6 and home. 5. Not a good, not great home form for Los Santos. Feel like they're away a lot. But anyway, um, ah, you're gonna wait. You're on mute anyway. Thought you were on mute anyway, but you clearly heard that. Anyway, we'll go with Exiles against Los Santos, and see what happens here. Um, Will have to be a new captain. I'm not sure who's going to be. We'll let the game decide. Welsh is out, and so is Henschel. They were the two changes, and then Marquinhos takes Danny's place on the bench as Los Santos look to change their fortune. It's going to be a tricky one, though. Exiles are no pushovers this season, but of course, Dede will. Yeah, he has the highest influence, so that makes sense. You do have the added bonus of 9 and 8 striker Christian Vieri being out for a few days with a gash leg. Nikos Maklas, who isn't particularly impressive, comes in his place, but they have got goals from other areas of the pitch. Of course, Smooch can contribute, Raul as well, if need be, even Casano, 2 goals for him this season as well, and Roberto, of course, the highest averaging player, I believe, this season so far. So yeah, plenty of threats from Exiles still, as Exiles takes on Los Santos. Let's see what happens in the first half. I believe Mendieta's had a decent start to his Exiles career as well. Um, Swapped with Badges, was it? Los Santos. Scott continuing to collect good players. I mean, some lots of player swapping going on at Los Santos, but unlike other managers, it always seems to be a slight improvement in the overall squad quality. Having said that, though, great ball in from someone on the Exile side, and Maklas, who is in for um, Vieri, opens the scoring for the home side. They take a 1-0 lead into halftime against Los Santos. It was Roberto, of course. I was wondering who they had who was good on the left hand side. It's Roberto who opens the party with a great pass for Nicolas Maklas, who opens the scoring 7s and 8s, and just Charlie Chaos is down on a 6, having not really done any much tackling really. Los Santos struggling. They're up against a strong and very organised side. Jonathan Bronckhorst is on a 6. It's going to be disappointing from the manager, same as Dede on that yellow card. At least Reba West is getting a 7, better than Hencho last time out. Andre's on an 8, doing good in goal. Probably not what the manager wanted to see here, as Los Santos look to improve their fortunes. Luca Toni, Marquinhos, and John Welch are their options on the bench. We'll see if Scott wants to do anything at this point. Potential tactic change coming up for next week, maybe for LSK. We will see. Move the wide DMs to MC. We shall do that immediately. Marquinhos on for Van Bronckhorst. Where is Van Bronckhorst? There we go. And Welsh for Pa Modu Ka. Diagonal arrow on Marquinhos. Instant response from the manager. And yeah, I mean, you've got to do something, haven't you? You've got to do something. It's a difficult away game, but you've gone down 1-0. Uh, you can't sort of sit around and wait for stuff to happen. Got to try and change things up, and the manager has done exactly that. Kluivert comes forward. There's Beckham, runs with the ball. Nesta, who's done brilliant for Exiles as well. And there comes Saviola, saved by Constanzo. Los Santos immediately creating a lot more than they did in the first half. It seems Saviola is caught in an offside position. Manager won't be too pleased with that. Andre punches it clear, continues his good form from the first half, just letting the one goal go in. But apart from that, he's been pretty solid. There comes Kluivert going forward. They can't get past Roberto though. Such excellent defensive performances by Nesta, by Roberto, by several of the Exiles players. Uh, but there comes West, there comes Beckham and Kluivert and Saviola, and Constanzo beats it away, and Nesta clears it. Mendieta now comes forward. West with a brilliant tackle there. Another great, exciting game. This one, plenty of action at both ends. Los Santos much the better side in the early stages of the second half here. Let's have a look at their average ratings. Yeah, Welsh and Marquinhos both on sevens already. Plenty of tackles from Welsh there. And it's going to be Tony for Kluivert as the change from Scott, as he looks to get on the score sheet somehow. The little and large matchup continues, just with Tony instead of Kluivert. Nothing from Exiles, of course, but let's just have a quick look. It's a 9 for Roberto. There are 8s all over the place. And Nesta doing brilliantly defensively, as you'd expect. Mendieta as well, with plenty of tackles. Cordova as well. They are very, very hard to break down on their day. Exiles today looks like to be one of those days. But still hopeful of Santos, as they've had a solid start to the second half. They continue to create chances, and there is Nikiforenko. All the pressure finally pays off for the away side. They've been pushing for this for ages, and finally they found the equalizer. Let's see if they can continue to keep that pressure up, or if Exiles will find a way back into this. We're definitely going to slow this down. It's looking like it's going to be an exciting finish. 10 minutes ish left to play. Beckham comes forward. Raul with the clearance. Raul now down the other end. Could be a Eddie very, very lucky not to be sent off there. That could have been a second yellow for him for sure. He was involved there again. Not sure if he was fouled or fouling someone. Headed away by Nesta. Mendieta comes forward. Casano is there. There comes Maklas with plenty of time, but Andre with a brilliant save for the away side. See, Roberto tries now, and there is Cordoba, but it goes out for a goal kick, and that is going to be it. Super exciting finish to this one. Well done to Scott for getting back into it with those tactical changes, moving those two players up to midfield. A good result away from home to a top three side, and brilliant performance, especially in the second half. A few yellows though, maybe something to worry about. Taribo West on a 9, good to see him back. Emmanuel Petit, who's had a good season, on a 9 as well. Nikiforenko with a goal, he's on an 8, and all three players who got subbed on got 7s. So first half's not going to be brilliant viewing for the manager if he watches it back, but certainly the changes he made in the second half made a giant impact, and Los Santos takes a point from their travels here at Exiles. Ser Roberto, unsurprisingly, man of the match, he gets a 10 and an assist and continues his dominance of the average rating tables. Nice from Petit, indeed, Emmanuel Petit, indeed, David. And Emmanuel Petit has had a brilliant season for Los Santos here, especially in terms of average ratings. Good contribution from him with his set piece ability, good teamwork and positioning, bravery as well, of course, and determination. Just hard graft goes a long way sometimes. Manuel Petit being a perfect example of that, age 35 and still doing brilliant numbers. Excellent. We have got 2 games left this evening. We'll do Fulchester against Stackington in the anticipation of Tato perhaps arriving in the last minute. I don't know if Steve was here at all. I forget. If not, they'll have to battle it out incognito at some point. But we'll do full chest against Stackington first. Two changes, in fact, for Stackington. We've got Palermo, who replaces Anelka on top, and Binotto on the right hand side for whoever it was, Conceição, who played there last time out. Um, Fulchester, a couple of changes from them. Roy Keane comes back in. Gattuso comes back in as well, as they continue to hope to turn the season around, and they had such a brilliant start. I mean, such good results. 3-0, sorry, 2-0, 1-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4 wins on the trot. Then that game against Exiles, it can happen. Back to a draw with Vikings, and then 4 defeats on the trot. Not sure how that happened, but that's where we're at the moment. Fulchester, they're at home to Stackington. Can they do something? Stackington in the away colours. Let's have a look. We kick this one off. Roy Keane, Jogatos, Pizarro is there. Lame continues unchallenged. Shay Given doing Shay Given things in the Stackington goal as he has been doing for a while now. Um, they've been difficult to get the better of Stackington, and that's where they are in the table, of course. Um, Martin Palermo, though, is he going to be the answer? Who knows? Feel a little bit hard that Anelka was dropped though, but he hasn't made much of it. Oh, and it's Pizarro who opens the scoring for Fulchester. Home side takes the lead. Let's see if they can hold on to this one. They've, as mentioned, struggled dramatically in the last 4 games. And Pizarro probably should have made it 2 there just before the break. 5-3 from Fulchester, 2-2 from Stackington. It's a 6 for Viali, who's picked up a yellow as well. And going forward, it's not looking great with Binotto, with Palermo, with Eto, with Oliveira, all on sixes. Definitely not what the manager wanted to see. Rockenbach and Yakubu not doing brilliantly either. Have got Zenden out on the bench who could potentially come on, and Nicolas Anelka as well, of course, the striking option. While Alex considers that, we'll have a look at Fulchester. Jogatas is on an 8. Let's see if he got the assist. Yeah, indeed, he did get the assist. Jogatas is on an 8. Pizarro's on a 7. Got the goal, though. Not a huge amount of passing going on here, but we will see in the second half. Galka comes on for Rockenbach. There he is. And we will roll until 60, says Alex. Previous specified set piece taker Konstantin Galka has come on, and Rivaldo probably still in charge. Yes, Rivaldo quickly took the free kick. Rivaldo still in charge of set pieces. Binotto now comes forward, trying to create something. He doesn't. Oliveira loses his man. Frey does brilliantly to parry it. It's got a lot of making up to do. Frey, I don't think he was brilliant last time out. Here comes Pizarro. Would be such a joy for the Fulchester manager if he finally got a striker who could actually consistently score goals. That has been a huge problem for them. Pizarro, they obviously thought was the solution, but hasn't proven to be as of yet. I'm not saying he's been completely anonymous, but not exactly a goal machine either. Kutuzov comes forward. It's Roy Keane tripping someone, and we've reached the hour mark and the game is not stopping. There it is. Fulchester still in the lead, maybe if not in control. Stackington now with 5-5, definitely coming back into it. Sort of a nice even distribution of shots there, and all of them on target. That's going to be promising as well. But will we see Anelka instead of Oliveira, for example, in that AMC role with an arrow? Could be. Senden is there as well, of course, on the left hand side, but Rivaldo is on a 7 and has been doing brilliantly from the left hand side. Anelka for Etu is the change. Manager keeping faith in Oliveira. Meanwhile, Fulchester, Sepfrey is on a 9. That's good news. Pizarro, as mentioned, he scored once. He scored a little bit. And Anelka moves alongside Palermo, 2 strikers for Stackington. I was wondering what was the logic behind that. We will see if that pays off for them. Maybe Fulchester will prefer the 2 strikers instead of the 2 AMCs. Sort of more of an even matchup there, but we'll see. Last 25 minutes coming up. Fulchester still 1 goal to the good. Stackington looking for that equaliser. They've been the better side since Fulchester scored. And there is Anelka, and he has equalised. Will they also get a second? Let's slow this one down and see what happens in the last 8-9 minutes. Stackington perhaps deserved, given the start to the second half they've had, have found the back of the net. They have equalised 4 minutes of added time. Looks as if it's kind of died down a little bit in terms of chances being created. Anelka creates chance space for himself and has a dip. Could have been a brilliant goal, but it stays 1-1. Another 4 or 5 minutes to play, probably with the added time. Fulchester now coming forward. Someone got body checked by Palermo. Free kick coming in from Gattuso. It's Materazzi and other unnecessary players getting involved in trying to score a goal. 93 minutes now. It's Olise Debe and it's Kutuzov. Pizarro steadies himself on his right foot, shoots, and Given saves it as you would expect. There's a corner though. Ayala collects the ball. Given fists it clear. is always given, preventing people from having fun, it would seem. 7-5 for Fulchester, 10-8 for Stackington. He certainly picked it up in the second half. Shay Given, unsurprisingly, man of the match on the 9. That's his 5th man of the match award of the season. Brilliant, brilliant from the Stackington keeper. The assist was from Binotto, sort of justifying his inclusion in the squad. As mentioned, Jack Gatterscott did assist for Fulchester. Brilliant performance overall by Stackington getting back into this one. Fulchester won't be too unhappy. Would have perhaps liked to hold on to the lead, but with Shay Given in top form, it's going to be difficult. Moving on to the last game of the evening. Not sure if Steve or Tato are here. If not, then they'll definitely enjoy watching this one back. For Dudley, it's just the one change. Kalat to come in for Ambrosini in that DMC role. Um, yeah, 6-0 last time out. Dudley haven't conceded in absolutely ages. Let's see if informed Badgers are about to change that, or if Tsigalco will come back to haunt the Badgers. Badgers just with one change. Okoronkwo is out injured for 2 weeks with a thigh strain, and Juliano comes in and replaces him. The brilliant defensive record of Dudley Hill is obviously on the line here against the free scoring, I would say, certainly in the last game, Badgers. Let's have a look as this one kicks off. Who will get the better of this? Current league leaders. Who has dropped points this evening? East Coast dropped points. Exiles dropped points. Then I can't work this out, but Badger's going to stay top no matter what. Obviously, they were 3 points ahead of East Coast and 4 points ahead of, at least 4 points ahead of everyone else. So regardless of what happens here, they're going to stay top of the table. It's been an even first half, couple of chances for either side. I think there comes Tsigalco though, just with a big chance just before halftime. Another one, what a great save by the Badgers keeper. Tsigalco trying his best to put Dudley Hill up in front there just before halftime. 7s, 8s, 6s, 7s, and 6s. Well, not brilliant, but a decent game. Klump is on an 8, and there's a bunch of 7s for everyone else. Not seen either manager in the chat this evening, so we are going to continue with this one. I will roll it slowly until 60 in case one of them is here and just hasn't said anything. And there comes Tomasi forward for the Badgers. Scholes unleashes a volley. Great football by Badgers, but unable to make it count. And there comes Tsigalco. Tomasi gets it though. Kalatze picks up a yellow. One of the highlights of the match so far, a yellow card for Kalatze. I believe that's the first sort of properly interesting thing that has happened. 3-1 for Badgers, 4-2 for Dudley Hill. 7s, 8s. Ortega's on an 8. He's done badly so far this season, so that's good to see. And Tsigalco with the 2 shots, just 1 on target. Still 0-0. In terms of Badgers, it's okay. It's going okay for them. We'll put the commentary up to very fast and get to the end of this one. 24 minutes left to play, and it's King Titi who opens the scoring, breaks Dudley Hill's fantastic run of not having conceded in 4 games and whatever many 68 minutes. It turned out to be that they could keep a clean sheet, and Badgers looking to go 5 points clear potentially at the top of the table if they can hold on to this one. Just a couple more minutes to go. Dudley Hill, can they get the goal? Boyd McGregor dishing out some cards. Plenty of chances still coming. But it finishes 1-0. League leaders Badgers hold on. They are in form. They are they absolutely chapped Dudley in this one. 5 shots for the visitors, only the 2 and 1 on target for the Badgers. Roberto Carlos, very uncharacteristic for him. He's having a great season. He only picked up a 5. Del Vecchio's on a 6. Tsigalco also picked up a yellow. He gets an 8 though. 3 shots, 2 on target. Very good from him. And Edgar Davids. Okay, that's a 10, a 9 for the keeper, 9 for Tomasi, 9 for Klompe as well. Very, very solid defensive display, and the Badgers cement their position at the top of the pile. So, classified results are as follows. Badgers, as we saw, 1-0 win against Dudley. Goals draw between East Coast and Sloths. Exiles and Los Santos. Los Santos with a great comeback. Same for Stackington with their great comeback against Fulchester. Both teams secure a point on their travels. Northern up to the playoff spots. As you'd expect, 4-1 winners against Foss Road. Stanley up to 9th with a 2-0 win over Sancte. That leaves them at the bottom of the table with Sloss picking up that point, and Haggis win on the road. They stay 12th though, down at the bottom. Vikings still in 4th. Thank you very much for your participation this evening. I'll leave you with the first of all the fixtures for next week. It's going to be Northern Burn home to Dudley. Doesn't get any easier for Dudley. Sanctuary host Haggis. That's a big clash at the bottom. Exiles against Badgers. Big game there. Fulchester hosting Stanley. Another big game for Fulchester, looking to pick up 3 points with Pizarro getting goals. Los Santos finally at home with what is on paper a reasonably easy matchup, although Sloths had a good performance this time out, and Foss Road host the Vikings, who might have Shevchenko back, they might not, we will see. Either way, that's how the fixtures are. I'll leave you with the table. Badgers 5 points clear at the top. We've got East Coast, we've got Exiles, we've got Vikings, Stackington, and Northern Burn. Gate Crashers here, maybe Stackington, the rest, and Vikings, considering how they've been performing recently. Foss Road, Dudley, it's all very close. I mean, you've got from Haggis in 12th to Northern Burn in 6th, there's 2 points. It is literally all to play for. Tricky for Sloss and Sanctuary, of course, but it's definitely not over yet, as both, certainly as Sanctuary have got that game in hand. They win that, they're on 11, they're only 5 points behind. We will see. Stray fixture for us, the same stream or not. Is there a stray fixture for you? No, the stray fixtures are in. It's like I don't know what's going on. Fixtures keep getting rescheduled, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But we will. Oh, indeed, you're missing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Stray fixture for us. Indeed. No, it's not. It's not in the same stream. So, I get what you mean now. Um, I get what you mean now. Who's missing out? Dimple and who else is missing here? I should know this by now. Anyway, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have spotted who it's Stackington, isn't it? Stackington and Dimple get the week off. Alex and Dimple, you get the week off. But yeah, fixtures, packs, all of this good stuff will be out in the morning at some point. Thank you very much for your participation. As always, halfway point of the season coming up, at least for most of the teams. Enjoy it. We'll see you next week.